Okay, all right. I am trying to figure this out. Bear with me, y'all. Okay, I think I got it. I've never gone live in a group before, so my nerves are showing. Oh my goodness. Hey, Brooklyn. I'm so excited to see you on here. Okay, all right. Let me know if you guys can hear me, where you guys are tuning in from. So they are doing a giveaway too. So make sure if you're a guest that you go ahead and you tag the person that invited you and just let us know that you're a guest so that you can be entered into the giveaway. I believe that they're giving away a bottle of Dream. Okay, let me see how to do this. Bear with me, you guys. Okay, oh my goodness. Okay, so now that my nerves are out, I woke up probably about 4 o'clock this morning anxious and excited about sharing this with you guys because this is just something that has made a world of difference in my life. So let me see, how do I get these comments out of the way? I don't know how to do it. Anyways, so housekeeping stuff, make sure you tag the person who invited you and let us know if you're a guest so that we can go ahead and get you entered into the drawing. Oh my gosh. Okay, so hi, I'm Kendra Bolden. I think I forgot to say that with all of my nerves that are going crazy right now. I was in the United States Army for just shy of 9 years. I was active duty. I was a 25 uniform, which is Signal Corps, Geek Squad, whatever you want to call it. I worked with tactical radio systems, antennas, FM radio systems, things of that nature. And then being in 18th Fires Brigade and 82nd Airborne Division and 18th Airborne Corps, anything with an on and off switch is something that I ended up dealing with. So that's a little bit of my background there. I did go airborne and let me rewind. So my life has always been very fast paced. And I think that that is a part of my journey. And a lot of people, maybe not, they might feel alone in that because sometimes as we're going, right, we often think that it's only us that is on that. Hold on, I'm really trying to fix this. Bear with me for a second, you guys. I don't know why this is doing this on my phone. It's so distracting. There it is. I got it. I think I got it. Okay. So, let's see, where was I? So at 20 years old, I decided to join the Army, and I really just was looking for structure, for a place where I felt like I could fit in, for something where I could just apply myself, my being, my time, and feel like it was valued, right? So I don't want to overshare. I don't want to take up too much of your guys' time or anything like that, but that is something that fuels me still to this day, is helping people, being of service, and being able to see that people are getting value from something that I've been a part of. So in my time in the Army, I went to airborne school. I had a terrible, terrible accident where I came out, I didn't kick out far enough. I came back, I hit the aircraft, and then I had a really hard landing. I was on a run, an ability group run, and I was hit by a car. The running joke is like, did you have your PT belt on? And I always say, yes, I had my PT belt on. The safety gear, PPE didn't protect me. The car still hit me. And I was married at 18, and it was a very toxic situation. So we weren't very good for each other. So my body got some damage done that way too. And all of that just kind of, I know, it kept pushing me, and I never slowed down. I never stopped to do like a self-inventory, right? Like, how am I feeling? How am I doing? I was just constantly looking for that next thing, because I felt like if I stopped or I slowed down, that things would just fall apart and I wouldn't be able to move forward anymore, which eventually did happen. So moving on, as you know, like being hit by a car, jumping out of airplanes, being in the 82nd, deploying, doing all of these things, even my childhood, all piled up and created this big bundle of, oh my gosh, she's a really strong person. Everyone sees the strength, but they didn't know at the end of the day, like, I was incredibly depressed on the inside. I would always make people around me laugh or feel supported or know that they could do something, right? And it was because I never had that. And when you don't have that, you want people around you to have it so that you don't feel so empty inside. So fast forwarding, I am so nervous. Oh my gosh, I should have took another CBD gummy. Yes, okay, sorry. Thank you, Pam. So I have fast forward, and in 2013, everything that I was just kind of like masking and dealing with and sucking up and driving on with that Army mentality kind of came to a screeching halt, right? Because I got pregnant, I had my daughter, and then my entire body, every single thing that I had been masking, every single thing that I had been ignoring, my entire body just said, no, ma'am, like, you need to go sit down, right? So during this time, I finally negotiated in my mind, like, with postpartum depression and everything else, like, I was the type of person who would never take Tylenol, right? Like, I would ice pack it, I would wrap it, I would do whatever it was if something was hurting, but I never wanted Tylenol, I never wanted prescriptions, I never wanted the medicine. And you know, in the Army, they prescribe 800 milligram ibuprofen like Skittles, like it's just candy. So I finally started taking some of that, and then I was just like, this isn't helping, this is really, really bad, I need help. And I allowed them to put me on antidepressants. And that is when everything really just like got really, really heavy. My uncle suddenly died, my dad died, like all of these things on top of each other just went back to back. And I just started to sink deeper and deeper into this hole where I felt like my body was hurting and I was alone. And I felt like no one could possibly ever understand what it was I was going through, what my story was. And so I just kind of, I didn't tell it. And I got really, really introverted, and I stopped being social, and I stopped talking to people the way that I had before and caring for people the way that I had before. And then I felt even more empty because I wasn't doing that thing that made me happy. Hey, yes, as you guys are hopping on, make sure to tag the person that invited you. Let us know if you're a guest so that we can go ahead and get you entered into the Dream Oil giveaway. So I'm just going through my story. So as part of some of those things that happened to me, I had 3 brain injuries. I'm sorry. Like, yes, I love your guys' support. Oh my goodness. So I've had 3 brain injuries with all of those incidents that I mentioned. So sometimes like I'll be on track and then all of a sudden like my brain is like, ooh, shiny. So those brain injuries caused things like anxiety, cognitive issues, depression got even worse after the last one. And finally in, let's see, September. Yeah, it was September of 2016, the Army medically retired me. And when I tell you that this was like the nail in the coffin, so to say, like I had sacrificed everything for my career, right? I went above and beyond. I pulled extra shifts, pulled extra 24-hour duties, went on TDYs, did the assignments no one else wanted just because I was like, okay, let me be a team player, let me do this and that, even if I'm not feeling good. And when I was introduced to civilian life, it was the same time I decided to divorce my now ex-husband. So it was a complete, like, I think I told Pam, like, it was like God just put my life in a water bottle and took the water bottle and like shook it and was like, you are not listening to me, so I'm gonna make you listen. So with that being said, at this point, I'm even deeper into the depression because now I don't have my Army career to lean on. I don't have the support of my Army brothers and sisters anymore because most of them didn't realize that I got out, because as soon as I got back from Afghanistan, I went from North Carolina to Alaska, and it was like this huge like gap, and everyone was PCSing and leaving and going all these different places, and I kind of let the relationships kind of air out and breathe, because I couldn't show up for them the way that I used to, basically. So anxiety, PTSD, and depression, all of that was really, really heavy. And so I got out, left Alaska, came to Texas, and I was like, well, welcome to civilian life. Let me figure it out. No family, no friends. I don't know anyone here, but I'm going to start fresh and just do it, right? It was the first time in my adult life that I could choose anywhere and do anything that I wanted to do without considering someone else, without considering a husband or having been put on orders because of the Army. And it was overwhelming. The transition was terrifying. The transition was intense, because the way that civilian culture is compared to that structure I had in the Army, there's a huge disconnect. And there are a lot of programs now where they try to help integrate us, but there is still, there's still just this huge disconnect, right? And it allows for gaps. So when I came down here, I'm in the VA system. I'm still using TRICARE because I have my daughter, and the doctors aren't talking to each other. They're still over prescribing me medicines. They have me on 3 antidepressants because 1 antidepressant was for the depression, 2 were for the side effects. And I was telling them, like, I'm having more prescriptions in my body than I am food, than I am nutritional type of things. Like, I don't feel good. I'm a zombie. And then they said, oh, well, for all of this pain that you have, for your degenerative back, for your bulging discs, for all of these other chronic pain type issues, here, have more prescriptions. And when I tell you guys, I have every gizmo, gadget, prescription, test, and everything else that has been run, given, tested, guinea pigged. I've tried it all. For the migraines, they had me on Botox, they had me on blood pressure medicine, allergy medicine. They did a sinus surgery and they messed it up, and then they messed up something in my ear during the sinus surgery. So it was like hopeless. And so I said, I'm going to figure this out, and I'm not going to do these prescriptions anymore because they're not making me feel good. I'm a single mom. I have to show up for my daughter. And on top of that, they had me on sleeping pills, which I didn't take, and they got mad at me because they test your blood for the prescriptions that they prescribe you at the VA. And I was on Ambien, but I couldn't be present for my daughter, who was 3 at the time. And I'm like, that fear of, what if I'm on a muscle relaxer or I'm on Ambien and there's an emergency and my daughter needs me and I can't be there for her? As a parent, that's terrifying. That is terrifying, to think that your child might need you and you're so out of it on drugs that you can't do anything. So what that did for me was I stopped taking the pills and I started drinking. And I was drinking to numb the pain. And then I started to realize that there was more, right? There was more of an issue, because the doctors weren't talking and they weren't hearing me when I told them I wanted other relief. I wanted holistic health. I wanted something that wasn't taking me out of my right mind, right? So I eventually, fast forward a little bit more, I started looking up CBD, I started looking up legal weed, I started looking up anything and everything and just doing the research. And then I dove in and started like buying all of this different types of CBD, and it wasn't really regulated at the time. So I didn't understand why some was like brown, or some was green, and some was white, and it all tasted weird, and I didn't feel like it was helping. And so that started me there. And then I said, let me start working online because I'm already using these products. And I just started, I met a community of people that, oh my goodness. I met a community of people that would eventually bring me here to Navan. And I'm not here to make any medical disclaimers or claims or financial income claims or anything like that, but just for me and what I have experienced up until this point. With one of my migraines, it was so bad that every single day I had a headache. And every time I went to the doctor, they would always make these comments that made me feel even more isolated and alone, because they would say things like, how are you functioning with your head pain being so high? And I'm like, how are you functioning knowing that I'm your patient and you haven't fixed it yet? Like, all of these things that I am trying and doing, and like the Alpha Stim, the TENS unit, the neck traction machine, chiropractors, my daughter just snuck in here. All of these things that I've tried on top of the pills, on top of the process, right? The process that they have in place, aren't working. And so every single day for over 5 years, I had head pain of some sort, be it a headache, a migraine, whatever. And even when I came off of all of the pills, because I mean, that was basically my entire diet, was a handful of pills every day, and then I would feel sick, and so I couldn't eat and I could barely drink, and so then I would go to drink like an alcoholic beverage so that, you know, I could feel whatever I was trying to feel or numb at the time. And sorry, this is still like, it's really vulnerable sharing all of this. So I appreciate you guys giving me grace and allowing me to kind of stumble through this. I had written down notes, and I had an idea of what I wanted to share, and then I said a prayer right before, and I just asked God to get his message across. And what I'm feeling right now, it's really overwhelming, because I feel like there's someone that needs my message. And I'm gonna start crying, oh my goodness. But I feel like there's someone that needs my message so that they can be where they need to be. So with that being said, I feel like I'm in this space right now where pain has a purpose. And we had I had confirmation today in a group chat with my team where someone was explaining how it's hard to show up when you feel like you're at the bottom. So when I found Navan, oh my gosh, this is so hard. My battle buddy had died in August of 2019 from an overdose of pills, right? And he was someone who we would talk to each other. Like, most people didn't even know that we still had a friendship. But like, when our depression, our PTSD, our demons were coming out, like, we were there to support one another. So when I found out that he had passed, I went on a straight out drinking binge. It was really, really bad. And September 1st of 2019, I decided I needed to be sober because I'm a mom. And that was the only value that I had seen at that point. So in January of 2020, when Navan found me, I was ready to give up on direct sales. I was ready to give up on working online because everything I tried wasn't working. And I felt like I was so alone, and I felt like no one understood, because everyone kept putting up these facades online, and I was comparing myself. And I was saying, I'm doing the things, I'm showing up. Why is this not working? Why am I not making an income? And I was praying and praying, and God showed me Navan 3 times before I said yes. And finally, when I listened, I was like, well, I'll try it as a customer. That's it. So I took it. I was half dosing because I didn't understand what the heck a zeolite was. Like, I didn't understand what a zeolite was, but I had hope that it would work. And when I remember clicking submit and being like, well, they got a 30-day money back guarantee, so here's hoping that it works for me. And like, the negative side in me was just like, it's probably not going to work. Like, you've tried all of these other things and whatever, like, we'll just see what happens. And so the third morning that I woke up, the headache that I had every single day for over 5 years was gone. And like, I know I've told this before, but like, I still remember waking up and my head not hurting. And I left my head on the pillow because I really thought it was a fluke. And I was like, oh, this can't be real life. Like, if I move too fast, my head is going to start hurting. So I like sat there and kind of like slowly moved. I sat there for an extra 10, 20 minutes. And then I got up to go about my day, and I was like, oh, my head's not hurting. Okay. And from there, it's just been progression. And I still get headaches. Don't get me wrong. I still get headaches, but I don't have a headache every single day. I don't. And then like I caused myself to have a headache earlier today, and like I used some relief cream on my temples and it went away. But it's because the detox, like the detox is what really shifted everything in me, because I think I just had so many environmental toxins in my body that were built up that nothing could work. Between the prescriptions and like, oh my gosh, the poo pond. If you guys go Google the poo pond in Afghanistan, just breathing all of that in, and the burn pits, and just when I was at Fort Bragg, I was always in the field. I was like, would spend weeks at a time in the field supporting. So I think all of that just built up in my body, and it didn't allow anything else to work. So from there, what is, I don't even know what the date is, but I haven't had a migraine, an actual migraine, since the end of January, end of January. And that's huge because I've had them weekly, to the point where like I can't see, I can't move, I can't smell certain things, hearing certain things would trigger things. And I attribute that, for me, not making a claim for anyone, but for me, the Detox and Restore did that, because I was already using CBD. I was already doing the things with essential oils and changing my diets and using the different doodads and gizmos and whatever else. So for me, in my instance, I say it was Detox and Restore that allowed my body to be where it is right now. And I'm still sober right now, so that added to it too, you know. But what pushed me to join Navan as a partner was the community. And I have to give my team props, because they are absolutely incredible. And when I say my team, I mean both the Good Vibes Tribe and Navan as a whole, because we are seriously like one big happy family. And it doesn't matter if you're their downline or sideline or whatever, like everyone is willing to talk to you, to check on you as a person, and to support you. And that community poured into me. It filled my cup, and it filled my heart in ways that I didn't realize I really needed, because I had been so isolated and alone for so long. Whew, I feel like I'm talking a lot. I'm so sorry. Yes. If you are a guest, make sure that you are letting us know that you're a guest, so that we can get you entered into the drawing. Let's see. So something that I have, as I've been here and I've been experiencing Navan, and I've been, tell me if I'm like going too long, I'm sorry. But something that I have been really just thankful and grateful for is how everything goes together. It's like full circle. There's not just where I felt in other places where I had been, you had to try to convince someone and negotiate that what you were doing was a good thing. And it's like here with Navan, it just speaks for itself. You don't have to convince anyone, and you don't have to talk bad about another company. You just share it and invite people to see it. And then once they experience this community, it's unlike anything else out there. And why wouldn't you want to be a part of that? Because that is a huge thing that poured into me too, right? So like, I just feel extremely grateful for Navan and the community, and it's allowing me to continue to educate myself. Like I mentioned before, like my uncle and my dad both died from liver cancer. And with my uncle, we knew he had it for years. So as long as you want your, oh, thank you. So with my uncle, we knew he had it for years. So even though it was incredibly hard when he passed, it was something that we were able to prepare for. And then with my dad, it was really sudden. And I was like just rebuilding my relationship with him. And I was on the computer looking for a ticket to go see him. And my big sister called me and told me that he had suddenly passed. And that they had found like a tumor the size of a newborn's head in his liver, and all this other stuff had come out. And so as I'm here with Navan, it's like, it's allowing me to explore, other avenues so that I can be here for my daughter, which is extremely important to me. I'm a single mom. Like my own mother I was 5 when I was taken from her. Like, I don't tell you guys this for pity or sympathy or anything like that, but just as a little bit of background as to why being a mom is so, like, it's a huge chunk of my existence, right? So I was taken from my mom at 5, and then she was murdered right after my 10th birthday. And so there was always that longing to know my parent, to know where I came from, to know my roots, and I didn't have it. And so as I'm like in this space right now, I'm discovering who I am and what I stand for and what I believe in and what I love and what brings me joy. And I want to be able to be there to do that for my daughter. So if by getting my own health right will allow me to do that, then I'm going to do that. And if I am going to, if I'm going to work and provide for my child, I want to do that in a way that we still have quality time together. I tried working a civilian job. It paid really, really well. It paid really, really well, don't get me wrong. But I walked out because it was so toxic with the way coming from the military and then going into a workplace that it was very, it kind of reminded me of high school, and then like that feeling of just drama. So I ended up walking out of there because I was working really long hours. I was showing up. I was doing everything that I was asked of and more. And I kept getting told, like, you're too much of yourself. Why are you, like, I literally got in trouble from my manager for saying thank you. I got in trouble for saying thank you. Are you kidding me? Like, I can't do that. I can't be a part of that, right? So if I am going to make an income, why not make an income while spending time and making memories with the most beautiful thing that I have ever seen in my entire life, who drives me crazy and talks too much, my little girl. So that is why what drew me online in the first place. And I'm able to do that with Navan because the way that everything is set up, it's so transparent. It's so good. And, yes, we are so valued. Being valued is everything. And we like being able to see people heal, being able to see people make a paycheck here with Navan alongside me as my partner, as my friend. Like, it is an incredible feeling because you know people's lives are changing here. They're absolutely changing here. Be it for the products or for the community or for the compensation plan. Like, people are doing things that they never thought that they could do. And it just, it's the most beautiful thing. It really is. Yes, Brooklyn, the peace of mind. You get peace of mind because you know. And I don't know who invited everyone here tonight, but make sure you talk to the person who invited you and have them show you the compensation plan, because it's really too good to be true. And like, we have people sometimes who are like, did I get paid too much? Like, is this right? And I know when I got my first check, I looked at it, I was like, this is really it? Like, this is how we double our bonuses, or we really get paid for rank advancements? Like, this is real life. Oh my gosh, it is amazing. So let's see. Jennifer, did you have anything else you needed me to cover or wanted me to say? I feel like I've just talked everybody's heads off. Let me see. I got this new phone when my other one broke, and it doesn't operate like the other one. Yes. I'm reading some of these really quick. Yes, it really is. It is simple by design. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Oh. Okay, all right, let's see. I think I covered everything. I really appreciate everyone getting on and just allowing me to share. I was incredibly nervous in the beginning, so it's probably gonna be painful to rewatch. But I just want you guys to, make sure you comment if you're a guest. You say that you're a guest, tag the person who invited you, get back with the person who invited you, and just dig into the compensation plan, dig into the community. But at the end of the day, Navan is something that just needs to be experienced, and it's different for everyone. But at the end of the day, if you look at the people who are here, who are thriving, who are showing up for themselves, who are showing up for their team, oh my gosh, the possibilities are endless, absolutely endless. So thank you all so very much for letting me share my story, my craziness. Oh my goodness. And I hope that these products can change your life too. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful night. I know we have Trey Talks coming up soon, so I'll see you over at Trey Talks. Bye.
Hi, everybody. Hope some people are on.